Welcome back to another episode of Lour After Hours presents Cinemeh. This is a podcast series where we watch movies that are rated 69% on Rotten Tomatoes or 6.9 stars on IMDb, and we establish if it's worth it. I am your host at Beat Count on Twitter. Tonight I am joined by Pow out in Southern California, got Ed Bob in the DMV, and got Paddy out there in Ohio. What's going on, y'all?
How we feeling?
Wow.
Yo.
Let's all go to the movies. Let's all go to the movies.
I don't know if we can put that in the episode. That may be copyright infringement. I may have to beep that out. Anyway, so on this episode today, we have the 1997 crime action thriller Con Air.
Correction.
This movie is rated 58% by 71 critics and 75% on over 250,000 ratings on Rotten Tomatoes, and it has 6.9 stars on IMDb with over 340,000 ratings. This movie was directed by Simon West. You know him from Con Air, Lara Croft, Tomb Raider, The Expendables, and The Mechanic. This movie stars Nicolas Cage. You know him from Leaving Las Vegas, Face Off, National Treasure, and Raising Arizona. This movie also stars John Malkovich. You know him from being John Malkovich of Mice and Men, Rounders, and Red. This also stars John Cusack. You know him from High Fidelity, Say Anything, Gross Point Blank, and 2012. We've also got Steve Buscemi, or Buscemi. Who knows? How does he pronounce it? I'm going to go with how he pronounces it, and I think he says Buscemi. But anyway, you know him from Fargo, Reservoir Dogs, Boardwalk Empire, and The Big Lebowski. This one also has Ving Rhames. You know him from Pulp Fiction, Mission Impossible, Dawn of the Dead, and Baby Boy. Con Air has a runtime of 1 hour and 55 minutes or 115 minutes Canadian. This film had a budget of $75 million and grossed $101 million in the U.S. and Canada and over $224 million worldwide. This movie is rated R, and you can watch it right now on Disney+, Hulu, AMC+. Got some taglines for you here. Who's ready? Prepare to get blown away. I don't really like that one.
No,
Made me laugh.
they prison's not the only thing about to break. Would have been something a little bit more on the line, right? Because this isn't like a bomb movie. So if it was like a movie with a bomb going off, like, okay, but
There were a bleep ton of explosions.
There
Were they
was.
central to the, like, were they absolutely like the main focus of the plot?
No,
Yes.
not even a little bit. All right, tagline number 2. They were deadly on the ground. Now they have wings.
Better. I'm if we're playing a little beep or sleep with this, I'm gonna beep that one.
I agree.
That's a solid one. I'm with it.
All right, and the last one here. Buckle up. That's it.
Sounds
See,
stuff.
the other one, the open-endedness of the other one is what kind of makes it, right? Now they have wings. This one, buckle up, it works. These two are just better overall than the first one. The first one needs to kick rocks, eat farts, what have you.
Yeah,
But
I agree.
yeah.
All right, a quick little storyline synopsis here for those of you who haven't seen this movie. Again, it's 30 years now. So you've had some chances to go watch it. Cameron Poe, a highly decorated Army Ranger, comes home to Alabama to his wife Trisha, only to run into a few drunken regulars at the bar where she works. Cameron accidentally kills one of the drunks and is sent to a federal penitentiary for involuntary manslaughter for 7 years. He becomes eligible for parole and can now go home to his wife and daughter. Unfortunately, Cameron has to share a prison airplane with some of the country's most dangerous criminals who take control of the plane and are now planning to escape the country. Cameron has to find a way to stop them while playing along. Meanwhile, United States Marshal Vince Larkin is trying to help Cameron to get free and stop the criminals, led by Cyrus the Virus Grissom. So yeah, that's the IMDb synopsis there for Con Air. Um, I kind of want to jump into some questions here and kind of pose these to everyone here in the group. Um, why does Nicolas Cage's Cameron Poe work emotionally despite being an absurd character? Why does it actually work despite the fact that he's just a uh, a caricature of
I'm
someone?
I'm trying to like pinpoint the time when people really started like analyzing movies and the script that came along with those and like, how could this really happen? Right? The question of like, could this really happen? Because there was just a point in time through the 80s and 90s where they were just churning out movies and they're like, we don't care if this makes sense. Just here you go. But the music helps, okay? The soft southern voice that they've given young Cameron Poe seems to work as well. You
No,
know?
pal. I want to build off what you said a little bit because there's a little bit there for sure outside of it sounds like he's trying to do a mixture of like Forrest Gump and what he thinks a Southern accent from Alabama is supposed to sound like the entire movie, and it's incredibly distracting. But I don't disagree that it doesn't work because it is so good. But to just to build off of what you were saying, I think it was I think that the idea that somebody's just in the wrong place at the wrong time and is just trying to get back home to his family is always something that is going to be at least appealing. But the Cusack had a quote in the movie where he's like, "Well, nobody ever thought of this contingency before," pretty much. So I kind of think that that is a decent idea on why it might work because they build that into the movie.
I was also gonna say it's about character development, right? We talked about how this movie is, pushing it 25 minutes past that sweet spot of 90 minutes, right? So we're going into the 155 crowd. Oh wait, that's like 2 hours. That's almost. Sorry, I need to do math on that. That's even longer than that. It's been a while. Anyways, uh, when they're setting up like, okay, how do we put this guy on this plane with a bunch of like serial killer, rapist, murderers, but he's not really that. What are we gonna do? All right, he's in the service. He's defending his lady and kills somebody in that self-defense. Okay, cool. And then we'll bring him up on some BS charges. People will be like, "Man, this is why the man sucks," right? Um, and I think that's what makes him endearing. Okay, it's the hodgepodge of all of those things, and you just salt it all on. But we got Ed Bob with something here.
And he has a child.
As a child,
Throw a kid in there, and then it's like, oh my goodness, he's going to jail. He's not going to get to see the birth of his child. He's going to go away for 7 years. All he did was defend his wife when she was pregnant. Oh my God. They make him very sympathetic, and the accent's absolutely absurd. Um, Probably one of the best parts of the movie for me because it's Nick Cage. He doesn't have that accent, and he's
It's
not got that accent, and it's perfect for the movie because the movie is so absurd that him with a terrible accent just adds to what it is.
Yeah, and it's again character development, right? It's that development that they have going on with him. It's the accent. It's the tank top, the wife beater, okay? It's the haircut. It's the wig that they fixed up upon our friend Nicolas Cage, okay? All of those, mixed in with the fact that we're talking a veteran, of the US of A. Okay, Beep?
yeah,
All right?
I
Family
I get
man.
it. I
Yeah.
totally get it. I
This is
want to touch on something that you just mentioned, and you talking about movies that were made in the 80s and 90s. Would this movie work today, or is it uniquely a 90s product?
it is uniquely a 90s product. It's also because of the cast too. Like it's not just Nicolas Cage, but that's a pretty stellar cast. Like
Sure.
you got like a who's who on that plane, right? Like and they found a way to make like people who you would never think like, oh, this person is a serial killer. You're damn right that person's a serial killer. Okay, you know
No,
Dave Chappelle, Danny Trejo, right?
I could definitely see John Malkovich as a serial killer.
Boo Chemi.
I could
100%.
I could
He's been a
probably see
serial killer
Machete.
before.
You know, you mentioned Red earlier.
He was
Write that
just
down.
recent.
Somebody write down Red because I'd like to do that later on this podcast. I don't care what it's rated. I want to do Red.
It's a good
Anyways,
movie.
it's a great movie. Love that movie. You know what I mean? But yeah, I think when it comes to Cameron, good old Cam, and it's the name too, right? Cameron Poe, like that last name Poe.
It is pretty great.
Mhm.
It is a pretty fantastical name. Rather, I don't know if I would say that it's fantastic, but it might be fantastical in the way that it's just so good for an army veteran that is coming out of years of prison time served because of a manslaughter charge defending his lady. It seems like that should be his name. I don't know if that is because of the character development, pal, that you've been saying, but I do think that there's something about his name being Cameron Poe throughout the movie that does kind of fit, at least the wig.
And it the one syllable. I think it's the one syllable because you can just you Poe. And it's like it's Poe, it's the last name, and like when you can call somebody by their last name, that already is like that's like a certain level of nickname in itself. And when it's one syllable, I think it works, it flows. It's not like, oh, Johnson, you know? It's Poe. It's quick, it's easy, it flows off the tongue, and you can
Poetic
and
justice.
it's the last name, so you're not calling him Cameron. Because I mean that would be lame, Cameron. Let's be real. I mean, at the end of the day, Cameron isn't the highlight of the name. It's the combination of Cameron with Poe.
Well,
Yeah,
And
I
when you
agree.
put and when you
think
put
it
it
works
together,
because
you,
it's
you either
yeah,
call
no,
him
go ahead.
Poe or Cameron Poe. You say it fully or you just hit the Poe. But it's never just Cameron, unless you're his wife.
Well,
Yeah, no,
and I think it kind of goes into him being in the military. Everyone always calls you by your last name in the military. So everyone always called me Count when I was in the Navy. So it makes sense.
yeah,
Sorry, Patty, go ahead.
no. I think it doesn't work if his name is Poe Cameron, but that could easily be a first and last name if you just flip them. But I don't think that the character works if his name is reversed.
She hit the Poe. Next thing you know, Shorty got Poe. Whoa, 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 whoa,
We're gonna have to bleep out this whole part. The whole part. We are not gonna get monetized by doing this, boys. All right. Is this the peak of airplane action movies? Air Force One,
whoa.
Snakes on a Plane,
That's a
Con
good
Air.
question.
Is this one
Soul
like
Plane.
the number one Soul
Tuskegee
Plane?
Airmen.
Is this the peak? Is this the number one when it comes to airplane action movies?
Hmm.
I
For me,
think
it's
it
a
is.
yeah. Sorry, go ahead,
No,
Patty.
I was like, I think it is just because the only other thing I could think of that might be like one of the Fallen series that might also qualify as like a plane movie, but I think it is.
It's up there for me. I think it might be my number one. I've watched Con Air a lot. I used to have a Twitter account called Buy This Not Blue, where I'd post things that you could buy for $8 that weren't Twitter accounts, per month. And found Con Air on VHS for like $5, and I was telling people you could buy this instead of purchasing a Twitter account. So
Ironically enough, I did buy Con Air for $5 on Amazon Prime instead of or watching it on Disney.
there's a gag. The others, they all learn from me, Patty. You know what I mean?
So
Hey,
here's
years
kind
under
of
your
a
belt.
here's a kind of thought provoking question. Which character is the real villain in this movie? Is it Cyrus the Virus? Is it the prison system, or is it the DE agent refusing to stop shooting at everything in sight?
You mean Chris Cody? That was who he was in
Yeah,
my notes.
yeah.
um,
So was it
if
Agent Cody?
Agent Cody is who he was in my notes, and if I had to pick one, it's hard not to go with the guy with the fucking wrestling name. Cyrus the Virus is pretty insane not to choose. He is a pretty insane murderer. However, I do understand the overall theme of the prison complex not necessarily or not being a really a serviceable like outcome for folks in the US at the moment.
Ed Bob, what about you?
I can't lie to you. Don't know what the question was.
Which character is the real villain in this movie? Is it Cyrus the Virus? Is it the prison system, or is it Agent Cody, the D agent who refuses to stop shooting at everything?
Yeah, okay. Honestly, Agent Cody, he's hilarious. Like, and obviously they made him redeeming by him, in the end, not shooting, but he was hilarious. But the real villain, I mean, it's gotta be the prison system. I'm a black man and I'll always go against the prison system. I can't trust it. I don't know if all those people did what they did. My black man who needed his insulin didn't get his insulin. Why was he the one under duress? Why
Baby
did
O.
Dave Chappelle get run over by the wheels? A lot of people died, right? A lot of people died, but Dave died early. And my other guy who needed the insulin was I mean, he was just under duress the whole movie, and he didn't have a big role. And I just think that the prison system in general is just a terrible thing. So that's my answer, the prison system.
He was just playing Bubba Gump. He had to get shot and let some dude from Alabama take all the credit.
I can't lie
Exactly.
that I didn't scream not Bubba when he got shot.
Yeah.
Why did he need to get shot?
He didn't.
All movie, diabetic, just all he needs is insulin. The one shot he needed, he didn't get to the end. But the other shot, he got it, no issue.
And why couldn't they have just give it to him before he even got on the transfer bus? I
We know why. We know why.
Well,
Hey, you know what?
The prison
Ally
system.
though. Ally though.
Mm-hmm.
I'm with you, Ed Bob. I stand with you and Baby O.
and Bubba.
Baby O, that's his name, Bubba. That's my
Well,
boy.
that was the character's name in the movie, Baby O, Baby Odell.
Baby Odell, yeah. Baby Odell, they had to do my boy like that. Okay.
Baby
They
O.
did
Good
not.
man. He just wanted to see his mama. He was just trying to get back to his mama.
That's it. That's it. So, which inmate would have absolutely the number one listened to podcast today? If one of those inmates on the Con Air flight had their podcast, who would have the number one pod?
It's got to be between Cyrus the Virus or Agent Cody.
Oh wait, real quick. I wanted to answer the last question. Um, my villain of the movie is the guy who gets tossed out of the plane. Who let go, put the bunny in the box. The guy that he's talking to.
Oh,
Billy
Diamond.
Bedlam. Billy
He didn't
Oh,
get
Bedlam.
tossed.
Yeah,
He got well, yeah, he did get tossed in the end, but he got
yeah.
no. He wasn't the one who got tossed. Dave Chappelle got tossed.
Yeah,
He got killed under there. He was
yes.
stabbed by the pipe that was under there. Dave Chappelle's the one who got put on the plane. Yeah,
See the prison system.
prison system. Disposable black bodies.
Mm,
Hmm.
mm.
What a waste.
Yeah.
What a
Terrible.
waste. Anyway, which inmate would have the number one podcast today?
It would be Buscemi's character or Buscemi, whatever you want to call him. It would absolutely be him. Him at the end, the only one who got away, just chilling in the casino at the table. You know, it would absolutely be him. He was interesting. He was clearly like extremely smart but deranged in the
Hmm.
head. I think he would be very interesting.
I
Definitely
like that.
not Cameron Poe. You
Oh,
know,
No,
absolutely.
he's gonna be stuttering like
you wouldn't be able to understand it.
just the fuck out of that. Just just no. Um, I will say MC Gainey will have a fantastic right-wing podcast inciting like all kinds of violence. Oh, well, he dies though. Does that matter?
Eh, For the purpose of our argument, no, it doesn't matter.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna go with MC Gainey. Obviously, Cyrus the Virus would, kill it, but
Can
that's what I'm going with.
I would like to change my answer to the two guys that didn't die at the beginning of the movie by Cameron Poe's right fist.
The drunks at the bar that were trying
Yeah,
to help. Yeah,
the other two drunk bikers. Yeah,
they were friends with Wayne Grow.
the
The
Wayne Grow.
that- and
Was Big J
speaking
was
of
Big J
MC
Okerson at the
Gainey.
bar?
Wait, what was that?
I said, was Big J Okerson at the bar? I was one of my first notes there. I was like, just somebody who looks just like incredibly like Big J.
No, it was not Big J. But Pal just mentioned MC Gainey, and technically this is MC Gainey's second appearance here on Cinemeh. He was the voice of Pete's dad from a Goofy movie. How about that? You're
He was
welcome.
Pete's dad.
Okay.
Yeah, MC
Awesome.
Gainey, baby.
Oh man, the urge I have right now to like sing a song from the Goofy movie, but I've already burned us with
Disney
two
is
absolute
highly
bangers.
litigious, so I,
Third
I'm
time's the
gonna
charm.
I'm gonna nix that one right off the bat because Disney is extremely litigious. So at what point does Nicolas Cage's accent become contagious? Where you can't help but sit there saying, "Put the bunny back in the box."
That's how you find it, right? That's how you get into character. It's kind of like how Amin has the
Sasha,
Sasha,
Oli.
Sasha,
yeah, Malik,
Malik.
like just how he does that. But this, yeah, put the bunny in the box. It's kind of like with Snape, where he's like, take out your wand, Potter. Right? It's just a nice little thing to get you in that rhythm and that enunciation. But right away, I start talking like him right away. It's really hard not to, just because it's so forced. You know?
I agree in a way. It certainly never became attractive or something that I was really trying to necessarily imitate all the time. But I did immediately fall in love with the accent because of how forced and just terrible it really is. So like I immediately fell in love with it absolutely because of how just incredibly distracting it really is.
Yeah. And the thing is, it's like you hear it the first time, terrible. And you realize how terrible it is. But I feel like every time you hear it, you hear something new and how terrible it is. It's so bad that every time you hear it, it's just a reset of
Yep.
how bad it is, and you gain an appreciation for how bad it is the more you hear it,
It's
because
either
it's just so bad.
I would say that it's just either that or it becomes almost a white noise. It becomes so hilarious in the background that like the other characters and dialogue and they're trying to save the movie from that is I would say like a saving grace of the accent.
Why has it got to be white noise? Just because from Alabama?
Put the bunny in the box.
Ugh, that accent just it's like you're digging a hole and the shovel like scrapes against the rocks, but those rocks are like attached to fingernails on a chalkboard. That's what the accent does for me. I just I
Absolutely.
can't do it. Why was John Cusack dressed like a youth pastor? Anyone?
Because he's the straight white man.
Ah,
Yeah, you got to have the straight white man dress, and not only that, he's also the young, attractive character that is not named Nicolas Cage in the movie. So you have to make him at least counter what Cage is, dressed in. So he's dressed in the wife beater the whole movie. So you got to dress Cusack up a little bit more.
Yeah, a little more like on the fashion side of attractive or appealing. Appealing white man. You got the grungy criminal, wife beater, all that. Then you got the CIA, FBI agent guy. Dressed like a youth pastor, but he still kind of got that shit on. So
He's about the cause.
But what can someone explain to me those sandals? The Dunk Jesus 20s? No.
Shit. Those are the OGs, right? You gotta throw them on when you can.
yeah, I mean, they were out there. You out there in Vegas. I mean, it's hot on that side of the country. I can't. You know, sometimes it's acceptable to have the toes out. Me personally, it's only when you're at the beach or at a resort. But to each
Not
his own.
when you're a US Marshal that's trying to get, 20 of the most notorious criminals from one side of the country to the other. Makes no sense.
Stealing a
Makes no sense.
DEA agent's car,
You do need to be
Correct.
personal
ready.
car.
You need to be ready to move at any moment, and you can't do that in sandals. But I mean, sometimes you can. Sometimes you can.
What if what if
If
it's
But
what
not
if
in the
it's
you gotta
Moses
not
choke up
fours.
on. You
what
gotta
if it's
choke up
not
on.
a threat to be immobile at any time? Rather, if you're wearing shoes or you're wearing like loafers, that could be, uncomfortable. He could just pop those bad boys off and start going. Maybe he's just about running, on them bare feet.
That is the most agile. It's just you do have the danger of stepping on something that'll cut your foot. But I mean, if you want to run top speed, I mean, barefoot honestly
Ow.
is the way to go.
Yeah, you're not getting top speed in the Abraham sixes or the Moses fours or the JC 20s. You're not going to hit anything close to being at good running speed. It just can't happen.
No, you're right. You're right, Beep. You would know these things.
Damn right. Which character smells the worst by the end of this movie?
It
Bubba.
gotta be old boy that got lit on fire, right?
Yes, Cochise. Yes,
Oh yes, I forgot about
Because you
that
got
guy.
lit on you got lit
Think
on
about
fire.
him.
So like your clothes burnt, your skin probably got burnt up. So like you got burning flesh smell. It's probably you, and then you went through everything else that everybody went through. It's got to be him.
That's right, because he was the one that backstabbed, so to speak, Dave Chappelle after Chappelle lit him on
Backstab.
fire.
He set him on
That's what I'm saying. I
fire.
said, so to speak. I didn't, he got lit on fire. I'm not saying it wasn't deserved.
He just got his get back. He set him on
He
fire.
did. Yeah, I know. I
and
agree. I
that
agree with you.
and that character was played by Richard L. Duran from Back to the Future, Tango and Cash, They Live, and The Mask of Zorro. So, shout out to
Salute to Richard.
Richard Duran, and rest in power, my friend. Died in 2015. So,
No,
unfortunately, he will never get to hear us sing of his praises.
damn.
He was great in the movie.
So, which of these characters, or I'll save that question for a little bit later. So, if you were trapped on this plane, which inmate are you sitting next to?
Not Chappelle.
That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah,
Um, I'm not gonna sit next to Trejo, probably.
My
also
hair's too
fair.
long. I don't think Trejo. I don't think Trejo and I would get along if we sat next to each other. I'm worried for myself there.
Ed, what about you?
I, I'm I'm thinking with Ving Rhames' character, maybe just because that's a
Diamond
brother.
Dog. Yeah,
Yeah, Diamond Dog, that's a brother.
Nathan Diamond Dog Jones.
So I could see us linking up, but I Buscemi's character maybe. I just pick his brain. He's crazy, but like we're all in this together. He didn't seem like he was trying to kill anybody on the plane, but he seemed like he has some wild insight and just a an interesting mind.
There's definitely something there, right? And a question about Buscemi's character Garland Green there, the Marietta Mangler. I did he survive because he's smart or just because he like just kind of wandered in from a different movie set entirely?
This movie has great alliteration. Garland Green. What did you say? The what Mangler?
The Marietta Mangler.
The Marietta Mangler put the bunny back in the box. Like there's something going
Cyrus
on
the
with the
Virus?
alliteration in this movie.
Ving Rhames' character Diamond Dog.
Diamond Dog. There's something going on, but yeah, I mean, I just think he
Also a 90s thing.
very
It
interesting dude.
just as
Sure.
long as that sounds good, it'll deceive you from a believable script. Poe. Oh wow. I like this Poe. Poe.
Oh wow.
Wow.
It's a clue. We got a clue. Right?
Wow.
We can do impressions, right, Beep? I can do impressions, right?
Oh
Clue. It's a
yeah,
clue.
yeah.
I know. I'm just
Those
kidding.
are those are common license, so you're good to go there.
It's a clue.
Um, speaking of Cyrus, the virus played by the great John Malkovich, is he in the I would say maybe Mount Rushmore of villains in movie history
Yes.
and movie
Simple.
history starting from like 1990 until present day.
Yeah, because he's got several different things working for him. One, he's diabolical. Okay? He's a genius. All right. He's like thinking about murder on like multi levels, and he's not afraid to get his hands dirty himself. You know
Hmm.
what I mean? So it's like sometimes you'll have these evil geniuses who will think up the plan and then have somebody else carry out the violence. Okay? Or other way around, where like this person's just carrying out brute violence, okay, without having, thought out anything. Okay? They're just, but that's kind of short-lived more so when you don't have the brain aspect. But he's an all-around villain. He's just he's a five-tool player,
He
He's got
does
he's
have
got,
a Juris Doctor. I mean, he put himself through school, self-educated, as Cameron Poe said.
and like besides Virus being a part of his nickname, Cyrus is also a cool name. It's not one that you see often. But the
It's
whole
it's the name of a killer.
yeah. So
Cyrus is absolutely the name of a killer. Like and Cyrus. We're yeah,
I
no,
trust
but
you less a little bit.
he's got that look. Everything you see him in, he's a villain. He's got the voice, the demeanor, just you know, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Have you ever seen him as a loving dad?
mm,
And
being
I'm not the
I mean,
biggest
Malkovich.
movie guy,
I
but
mean,
every
being
time I
John
see him,
Malkovich
he's
is
an evil
probably
person.
well, being John Malkovich is probably the closest thing where he's not playing a villain. I think he's just more kind of playing himself. But yeah, he's definitely been typecast as that. Hey, I'm here to ruin your day, regardless if you like it or not.
And he may not be like super evil, but like Pal said, he's kind of like a evil genius kind of guy. Makes you just it's kind of a scoundrelly guy, and I think he's
Yeah,
typecasted as that. And I mean, even the most recent movie that I saw him in, with this movie called Mind Cage, he's a serial killer in that, and he plays it perfectly. So I just see him as an evil person. And I think that shows the great acting chops. And stay in your pocket. If you have a pocket, stay in that pocket.
he's definitely got that pocket, that prison pocket.
Absolutely.
Which moment got the biggest unintentional laugh?
hmm.
And if you need some time, I can filibuster because the moment when Cameron Poe slapped Sally Can't Dance, he's gonna punch him, and then open hand slapped. I lost it. I absolutely lost it. I know they
It,
weren't going for funny. Maybe they were, but that right there I had to pause the movie because I was laughing so much.
Yeah, I I didn't think of that, but I absolutely have to agree because that's literally I think the only like there was funny moments, but that's the only one I laughed out loud. I absolutely laughed out loud at that one.
I had several moments where I laughed out loud. The first time Nicolas Cage spoke, put the bunny in the box. When Nicolas Cage was running away from the explosions to safety, hilariously slow. I mean, it was just the explosions were happening in live time, and he was running in slow motion, and it was just so damn funny. I could not stop laughing, especially at that last one. It was easily my golden dumpster of the movie.
Is that where he dove through the window instead of just running through the door?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Okay.
That's that. If Beep hadn't mentioned what he mentioned, that would have been my answer because that scene was getting the insulin to your boy. That was a great scene.
I'm a big fan of anytime Nick Cage spoke, but specifically when we got the meme. When we got the meme of him just like, the NBA Twitter just loves to use of him just like, being the rock, sniffing the air, right? Taking
Oh yeah.
in the millions,
And
right?
millions.
Exactly. Of the Brahma Bulls fans. That was one of my favorite parts, I think. That's when I started to laugh. I laughed a good chuckle during that one, but just anytime he speaks. Like I think that's what I'm fixated on now. Watching it when I'm older. It's like, man, if all things like not to take seriously, that's where I start. It's his accent. But, that's Cameron Poe
Yeah.
for you. Okay?
What are you gonna do?
Great American hero. I'll tell you what.
He is in the special forces. He is an army ranger, which we got a lot of exposition about what rangers do in the first, 90 seconds of the film, and then basically nothing after that because he spends 4 or 5 other scenes just getting his ass absolutely wrecked in fights. It's like, come on, dude, you were in the Army Rangers. That's one of the first things that you learn in Ranger School is CQB, close quarter battle, and you get absolutely destroyed by 3 drunks outside of a bar in the rain, and then you get destroyed by Billy Bedlam in a plane. It's like, come on, you use your knowledge, use your training. You shouldn't have been in that situation to begin with. But neither here nor there. Anyway,
What do we got next on the old plate there, Beep?
so is the bunny the most important prop in a 90s action movie?
Ooh. Hmm. That's a really good question. I don't know if a bunny's the most important prop. You could almost put it in debate like for this movie, right? Because there's several different ones, if whether you have what's the ass yeah, you have the ass kicker, you have the bomb, like the tin bomb that was made, right? And then you have like the bunny in this movie. Okay, maybe you have like some cages or whatever, but I don't know if it's most essential to 90s action films. Do you have any other examples of bunnies in action films?
Well, no, what I'm saying is the bunny the most important 90s action movie prop? So like throughout all of action movies in the 90s, is the bunny in Con Air the most important prop of all those action movies from the 90s?
Oof. You could argue the glass of water, right, from Jurassic Park. When, the footsteps start coming in, you
Sure.
see the echo in it. Um, that's a really good question. I don't I mean, we're
Well,
talking about the
what I'm saying is if Billy Bedlam just puts the bunny back in the box, number one, he's alive. He didn't
Bun-
die,
Bunny Bedlam.
you know.
That's a good it's a good question. I'm gonna say no. I'm gonna go sleep on that, Beep.
Okay.
I
Patty.
would
I
need
don't.
I would need
Oh,
some other choices to make a decision. I think it was like a big part of this movie, but like I don't think it was big enough in my opinion. I mean, I think it had its scenes, but I feel like that really wasn't till towards the end of the movie.
Fair
yeah,
enough.
I would say middle end, but being born in in 2000. I don't know if I know enough about specifically action movies of the 90s to be able to pick a different character other than the bunny or maybe whoever was in the green suit of Jar Jar Binks.
Not a 90s movie.
Oh yeah.
Did that come out in '01?
I think it came out in 2001. Yeah, actually it did because I
I
just
think
saw
you're
that.
right. I think you're right.
I
Yeah,
just went and I remember I watched it in theaters, like for like an anniversary.
you're
It's
right.
an
I don't know. Yeah, you're right.
anniversary.
It's not a '90s movie. My bad.
No, not a 90s movie.
Yeah.
Hand up.
Take it back. Take
Take
it
it
back
back.
right now.
I
Take it
take it
back,
back.
Jack.
Take it back, Jack.
I took it back, Jack.
Yeah.
All right.
But what do we have? What else do we have?
So which actor understood the assignment the most? Which actor was, to steal the term from Cinephobe, ass off?
It's Cyrus the Virus, baby. It's John Malkovich killed it in this role. It's funny because it's like he's in the movie being John Malkovich, but that's all I ever see him as. And still, as Cyrus the Virus, he was absolutely like I get chills just thinking about him. Like I shouldn't be thinking about him. He might come and, kill me. Right? But that's my number one. Patty?
I gotta agree with you. For me, it's either him or Steve Buscemi's character. I think those two are just so ass off in the best possible way, right? Like that. I believe that they believed that they were who their characters were in this movie, and regardless of dialogue or how scenes may have been written or played out, specifically the rotor coming out of the off of the plane and cutting it in half, but somehow barely scraping Nick Cage and Malkovich. But yeah, I believed every time he was in the scene, even when I saw that CGI rotor come out of the screen toward me and back to the plane. I was like, oh yeah, no, this could happen.
Ed Bob, how say you?
I'll say me. Cyrus the Virus, I think for sure. Um, I think like I said, I mean that's John Malkovich's pocket right there. So he definitely did a great job. And whoever the person that got slapped,
Yes, that was Renoli Santiago. Sally can't
Renault,
dance.
Sally can't dance. Beautiful. I think he's great role. Played it played it well. The little role that you did have. I feel like Buscemi, I mean, played it well, but I just don't feel like you had enough of him to necessarily really, see him act and get him, get a picture of who he was. And even Sally Can't Dance, you didn't get a lot, but I mean, what you got is, I think, what they wanted you to get. So
Oh,
I
for
have
sure.
to say Sally Can't Dance and Cyrus the Virus, second place.
For me, it's going to be pinball. It's going to be Dave Chappelle, and I'll go into a little bit more when we get into the trivia. But Dave Chappelle playing Pinball Parker, that was a complete ass off performance there. Understood the assignment totally.
Pinball
From what I
Parker,
know of the
more
trivia, yeah.
alliteration.
More alliteration. All right, which actor understood the assignment the least? What was the ass on?
Put the bunny in the box.
Same note too.
It's got it's Nick
Do we
Cage. It's got
do
to
we gotta
be.
sweep this one?
Got to be Nick Cage.
Are we sweeping
Yeah.
it?
Honestly,
Come on,
yeah,
pal. Come on, pal.
We gotta go.
Yeah.
It's a part of this shtick. It's a part of the reason why you come to, you pay good money to see him, be offbeat, right? It's like he's like Nick Cage is like jazz, okay? Off rhythm, off beat, okay? Never on time. Always ass is always on, you know?
I don't know if that's like jazz, but I hear what you're saying.
I
I
mean,
hear what you're trying to say.
Skip it a bass, skip it a color.
when he was in a former cinema movie, Pig, he absolutely killed that role. I don't know.
Oh, Pig was
Who
awesome.
remembers that one? Pig. No,
I
that was
remember
great.
Pig. I don't
That was his best role I think he's ever done, and he absolutely killed that role. So he has the chops. He can act. It's just in this one, he absolutely fumbled this one from beginning to end, from the first time he opened up his mouth until that last scene where he's no, just get all the way out of here. Nope, nope,
How
sweep it.
how bad do you think he smelled when his daughter met him for the first time?
Do you
Oh,
think that's why she
He's
was
horrible.
like,
making that
you think
face?
he's just like, huh, huh,
No,
huh.
I don't blame her, bro. I don't know you. Like, who are you? And
Actually,
then the first time I'm meeting you, you look like this. Come on, man. I step back too.
I would like to change my answer from John Malkovich to the daughter because she did not want to give that man a hug at the end of the movie. She, she did not want to touch that man at all.
Well, can we talk about the wife and the daughter real quick? And who was the genius that decided, hey, the scene of this terrible airplane crash in the middle of the strip in Las Vegas. This is the perfect place to bring a woman and her 7-year-old child to meet their ex-convict husband for the first time. Like I don't understand that part blew my mind. Like what
That
in
would
the
have
hell were you doing?
that would have been my other ass on. And that is obviously the great and just terrible in this movie, John Cusack. It was truly just not a great scene or movie from him. And if it weren't for Nick Cage's just god awful accent every time he opened his mouth, I would say that it would have been Cusack for that one.
Fair enough. All right, let's get into some trivia. Let's get into some trivia here. So this is why, for me, Dave Chappelle was the ass off here. So he improvised a majority of his lines in the movie. So the fact that he was still in that character space, but he's just riffing, absolutely. When you can sit there and you can improvise, your lines in this major motion picture blockbuster and have it come off like it's supposed to be written, ass off right there. Nailed it. The role of Cameron Poe was originally offered to Sylvester Stallone and Kurt Russell, but both actors declined to appear in the film because both Stallone and Russell hated the script.
Man, that would have been Kurt Russell would have actually killed it in this role. And I think
I
he would have
think
did it with his ass off, like fully ass off. The mullet
Yes.
would have been real. The haircut would have been real. First of all, he would have filled out the tank top. He would have just let him do the Kurt Russell voice, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, one thing that I forgot as far as the accent and everything, I forgot how funny it is when he's saying his daughter's name, Cursor, 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 right?
for
Like
sure.
it's a chloral. I love it. I love a Nick Cage. Love a Cage match. Sorry. Just I forgot that I was looking at the cast right now. I was like, I forgot his daughter's name, and once I saw it, I was like, oh, it's hilarious when he says his daughter's name. Even like he struggles to say that cursor.
For sure.
Speaking of John Malkovich, he turned down the lead role in Air Force One to do this film. So yeah.
Wow, plane
Yeah.
recognized plane.
Yeah. Can you picture John Malkovich and Gary Oldman switching places?
He'd probably do a better job than Gary Oldman.
I don't know, man. Gary Oldman in Air Force One absolutely killed that movie. Like I
Uh,
that was probably I think it's probably his most underrated role, but I think it's probably his best role that he's done.
right, I'm pretty sure that Malkovich has an Oscar, so that's why I just think he could have handled it, you know?
Sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
be just I see what you're saying, but I think like what would we think of his career if he had turned down this to take the lead in Air Force One instead? I don't know. I think it might be a semi different. He may have two Oscars. He may be a Meryl Streep esque Oscar candidate.
Well, essentially the part that Gary Oldman played in Air Force One was, this Russian terrorist, which is essentially what John Malkovich played in Rounders as Teddy KGB. He was a Russian gangster, Russian terrorist. It would have been essentially the same character.
I see what you're saying for sure.
Yeah. So Nicolas Cage traveled to Alabama to work on his accent. So I'm not sure how Long he stayed, but
No,
No, he didn't. No,
no,
he
he did.
didn't.
No, no, no. It shows. It shows.
He
okay.
didn't.
Very strange.
It sounds like he's trying to
Put the
do an
bunny
impression of both
in the
Bubba
box.
and Forrest from Forrest Gump, the entire movie.
I didn't hear him say baby O one time in that accent. Now that I think about Bubba's name.
It was early. It was
It was
either
it
in
was
the
it was when he was in
prison.
jail for sure. Yeah,
Yeah,
because he was given the little pink coconut puff balls.
yeah, that's what it was. There you go, baby. Oh,
All right, and last piece of trivia here is this is the first film that Jerry Bruckheimer produced without Don Simpson. The new Jerry Bruckheimer film logo was featured for the very first time in this one.
Trend setting.
Yeah. All right. So let's get into our ratings here. So if you are new to the show, it's we have yeah, this is one of my favorite movies. I'm gonna watch it every time it comes on. Meh, once was probably enough. I probably won't see this again. And then feh, get all the way the hell out of here. So Ed Bob, I'm gonna start with you. Yeah, meh, or feh. How say you?
Meh, a little bit too long for you, boy. 2 hours, you hitting the 2 hour mark. That's it's entertaining, but it starts a little slow for me. I feel like most movies that are 2 hours, it's like 25 minutes too long. Starts a little slow. You're trying to give me a little bit too much. And unless it's something like Lord of the Rings, Harry Potter, something that has a very entertaining and long storyline, this is kind of give me an hour and a
mm,
half of this and I could have made it. So
So
it's a
you just want
mess.
to get to 90 and stay there.
Straight to the sex, man. Straight to the sex. There was a little too like it was just a little too much like in between filler at each point. It wasn't all at once, but I feel like there was certain parts of just filler, and it was closer towards the beginning. Definitely the beginning half of the movie where it had most of that filler, and it was just a little too much. I felt like if it even 15 minutes, 15 minutes shorter, I could definitely, if this movie's on, if I'm flipping through the TV and this movie's on, I'd leave it on. But 2 hours, a 2 hour movie on TV is like 3.5 hours, and I can't do that.
Fair enough, Patty. What about you?
it's a mess for me too. Beep. It was like Beeps or like Ed Bob said. Excuse me. It's just a little bit too long at too many points for it to be. I think just a concise movie. I think this could have easily been 90 if like we didn't need Nicolas Cage jumping on a bicycle on a motorcycle, joining John Cusack at the end of the movie to chase down the bad guys. He had already landed the damn plane. We had reached the climax of the movie. We had reached the resolution. We were done. What are we doing at the end of here where we got to go chase this guy with this U.S. Marshal? Let the marshals all go after him. What are we
In the
doing? What are we
fire
talking
truck.
about?
They're in a
Yes.
fire truck.
What was that? Why? Why did we need any of that? I mean, now, did it make the movie just that much more entertaining toward the end versus the beginning? Yeah, but I feel like we could have gotten to that point at least that much quicker if we had just cut out everything else. But that's what I think, Beep. For me, it's a meh.
Yeah. Poe, you are not a law enforcement officer. You have no authority or jurisdiction to hop on this bike and go chase after these cons. You don't. You don't. Leave that to the professionals.
Just
How
get
how
more
say you?
sweaty. Just get more sweaty for no reason. For no reason. Go see your daughter.
Please, please. How say you? Yeah, met or fa?
Fed to both of these two right here. It's a yeah. Are you kidding me?
Wow.
Man, you had the question on here. If you see this movie on cable, do you stop on it? Yeah. That's the way I've consumed this movie most of my life. Like I've stopped on this movie several times while it's on cable to watch it. TNT? Oh my God. TNT does not only love Inside the NBA or used to, it loves Con Air and Rizzoli and Isles and Law and Order. Like in that order. Okay? We got Inside the NBA, then you got your Con Air, then Rizzoli, then Law and Order, then probably Isles after that. It's not Rizzoli and Isles, then Law and Order, because I think they like Law and Order a little bit more than they like Isles. You know?
They do. It's
Yeah.
true.
So
That's some
Back in the
2010s
2000s,
TNT.
it was Charmed.
yeah. Oh no, it still is.
Gilmore Girls.
Charmed is still going strong in the year of our Lord 2026. I'll tell you what. When I'm clanging and banging,
A
you
classic.
know, hitting the heavy metal right at the gym, like it. Charmed is still going strong in the morning. It's like 5 a.m. I'm in there. I'm like, oh, look at that little
Right.
house right there in San Francisco. Oh,
Charmed.
is that Shannon Doherty? Oh, yep. Oh, there we go. We got what's her name? Rose McGowan now.
Alyssa Milano, here she
Oh,
comes.
you can't forget Alyssa. Can't forget
And
her.
then there's the older one, the oldest one.
Yeah, and just the older one. That's all you need.
That's
For
all
me,
I
this
know.
is going to be a fact. Get this movie all the way the hell out of here.
Whoa!
I will never ever watch this movie again. I
Could have
absolutely
had a
hated it.
trilogy.
I absolutely hated it. Nicolas Cage was the worst. This is a strong from the old beeper. Not gonna happen.
Don't worry,
If it,
we're gonna get like a Con C or a Con Land like pretty soon here.
Yeah, we had that. It's
Oh,
called Fled.
if
We're
if
owed
I
that.
hadn't watched this in two sittings, it for sure would have been a fet. I don't know how I like if I had sat through this for one, it would for sure be a hard fet. It would have been hilarious to get to the end, but I think that I think I agree with you, but I do have to stick with that meh.
Fair enough. All right. So listeners, you can go ahead and vote in our poll. Yeah, met or fe. And those will be on our stream. You can find us on Twitter at Lour After Hours. You can find us on YouTube at Lour After Hours, or you can find us wherever you get those podcasts. Paddy and Ed Bob, you have never done these cinemas before, so I am going to toss it to Ed Bob for our next movie selection. I'm going to give you 4 movies to pick from, and this will be our next one for next week. So we have Independence Day, we have The Wolverine, Game Night, Knocked Up, or do we stay with Nicolas Cage and go with National Treasure?
Hmm.
I'm putting you on the spot here, bud.
Yeah, some choices.
Yeah, okay. So
Bangers,
give me
there's some bangers in there.
repeat those again. Repeat those
Yep.
again.
So Independence Day,
Okay.
The
Okay.
Wolverine, Game Night, Knocked Up, or National Treasure.
You know what? I think this is perfect. Here's my answer.
Is that a knocked up joke?
The Wolverine.
That's the Wolverine. You see the claws?
Wolverine.
I get it. I get it.
I see it.
All
I see
right.
it now. I see it now. Yes, sir.
I feel
Wolverine.
it's almost as if that mug was there as the prop that we needed to get to the next movie. The Wolverine is going to be coming up next week, so stay tuned. We love you. Thank you for joining us again. This is at Beep Count on Twitter, joined tonight by Pow out in Southern California, Ed Bob in the DMV, and Paddy out there in the OH.
Seriously.
All right, folks. We'll talk to you next time.